are intact. Don't believe me, ask your boy in the back to the track. These recordings be important and responsible for drama like Sarah Palin, Joe Biden, McCain, and Obama.
Man, listen, we be on a life or death mission. Get paid like tuition or caged up in prison. One time for your mind, two ghetto politicians. 3 for all my niggas locked down in the system. Man, listen, we be on a life or death mission. Get paid like tuition or caged up in prison. One time for your mind, two ghetto politicians. 3 for all my niggas locked down in the system.
NYG.
They said New York fell off, who bringing New York back? I'm like, where we went, what part the game is that? We've been here the whole time, anxiously waiting. And the streets paper chasing, pre-testing our patience. Now stop the presses, listen up, this is not a lecture. More like a message with a flow that's as hot as peppers. Pop the only way you can stop this villain. I'm sick with it, couldn't with amoxicillin. I've been the illest, this ill kid, Operation Red. Though I never contemplated that. Then that's a rap, turn your pages to 03. Chapter NYG's, Panthers my code D. No iron team, homie, picture me solo. See what happened to Tony, what he did to Manolo. Here go that New York Giant, back on it again. Seen with Wolverines and they wasn't from Michigan. Y'all listening, y'all can hear a lyrical street. Narcotics, raw dens. Rap don't work, find us in Tennessee. Looking for bucks, see if they still Tennessee.
NYG.
We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG.
We appeal to those that feel.
Practice freedom of speech and refuse to hold back. Hey, what you say?
NYG.
It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Greetings, NBA fans. Welcome to 2K Sports. I'm your host, Ernie Johnson, and seated beside me, Kenny the Jet Smith, and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal.
Coverage of the NBA here on 2K Sports. A happy Sunday evening to you and yours. This alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony with Doris Burke on her sideline. The Houston Rockets come into this one following a loss to Philadelphia.
Yeah, they just caught a team, Kevin, that was in a zone, and they didn't have the manpower defensively to disrupt them.
Hey, zone or no zone, I expected a little more fight out of them than what they showed. I mean, they never strung together any stops like they needed to.
A look at the opening lineup for the Houston Rockets. We've got Hayward, Stoudemire out there with Kenneth Faried. Then there's Foy, and it's Brooks in at point. Rockets on defense. James with it. Bellinelli with the three. Good, and the assist goes to James. Bellinelli's got himself going there. His first points of the game on the deep ball. Some people think LeBron's athleticism, Clark, has declined over the last few years. He might be the first to admit it. He still looks terrific, though.
Well, he's, that's a natural progression for any player, sure, even if you are LeBron. But he's still an elite athlete by NBA standards.
Really no idea why you're fouling in a situation like that. You know, maybe there's some bad blood between those two.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for that kind of foul. I mean, that might be an explanation for it, but it certainly doesn't justify it. And even then, it's just not a good play.
And remember the quote from LeBron on the subject. Obviously, I'm not the 18-year-old kid that I was before, but I can still do the things I need to be successful.
A rim rocker.
Looked for a second like he might rip the cylinder loose.
I tell you what, that is some grown man strength on that attack.
Here is Brooks after the basket by Seattle. Fareed dishes to Hayward. From about 16, here's Fareed. No good. Good D by James. Houston on D. Now we'll go to Doris Burke. We had a chance to talk with head coach Kevin McHale.
Of course, the conversation veered to the challenge of defending LeBron James, and he said there's not a lot of good options with him. He can really do it all. I think you just have to try and stay in front of him, and if he gets in close, you have to bring help. And guys, we've seen LeBron really force the issue as far as getting into the lane. We'll see how they do.
And thanks for that story, Doris.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect 4-4 from the floor. You know, LeBron was just so far ahead of everyone in the league when he was young. I mean, even a LeBron who has lost a step is more athletic than 95% of our league.
If you're just tuning in, we played about 2.5 minutes here in the first. It's good. This time the assist from Rose.
And just a nice bucket there to really just sustain that lead.
Well, a few more possessions like that, and they'll do more than sustain the lead, Greg. I think they'll start to put this thing away by pulling away.
There's Foy with the three, and that one's good. Foy's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. And so for Seattle, their last game, a loss to Miami.
Yeah, and really lucky that they weren't blown out in that game, because I just thought the effort was lacking.
They just couldn't hit on anything that worked for them, no matter what approach they used.
Now here's Brooks. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Here's Bellinelli, the kick out to Rose. A three-pointer, no good. Rockets trail by 4. To the inside, Fareed.
And, you know, guys, a high-energy post player like Kenneth Fareed excels at doing the dirty work. As a matter of fact, he's nicknamed the Manimal for good reason. Very few players in the league possess this combination of energy and aggressiveness.
And the first one drops. Cody Zeller's checked in for Stoudemire. Both free throws good from Fareed. And here's Rose. He's coming off a 13-point game against Miami. To the paint. And LeBron throws it down.
I like the fact that he led his teammate right to the ideal spot. You don't always throw it to your teammate. You throw it to where he needs to be.
Rockets trail by 4. Talking about Fareed, a rebounder extraordinaire. His explosiveness, long arms, and huge hands help him compensate for his relative lack of size.
And he has that exceptional shot blocker instincts. I mean, the timing's there. He'll also steal the ball from you. The question now becomes, will he always be that low-effort energy player, or will he develop eventually the offensive skills needed to see him reach the next level?
Boy, such outstanding patience and decision-making for them offensively.
Absolutely. Their ball movement has been outstanding, and they're piling up the assists.
Now here's Hayward. 11 points last game. And here we go. Fast break. LeBron's got it. Rose can't hit.
You know, just a little too fancy on that play.
Well, you don't want to force any play, but particularly the alley-oop. You'd like to try that when it's wide open.
Here's Zeller. Hayward outside. Screen by Fareed. Hayward kicks to Foy. LeBron grabs the miss.
And with room like that off the pick, you have got to knock that one down.
Well, you know, they did everything right, Greg. They executed. All you want is a good look at the basket. Sometimes the shots just don't fall.
Now here's Zeller. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Hayward passes to Foy. Drills it from outside.
Yeah, perfect release that time. I mean, I thought it might get blocked, but no.
Yeah, he was giving up a lot of size in that particular matchup, but there was the excellent ability to get off that shot despite the disadvantage inside.
Well, LeBron James long considered the greatest player in the league. He's got some competition now, though. Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Steph Curry, James Harden, all playing well last year. But for my money, there's no better player in the league than King James.
And let's quickly check out the scoring breakdown here for Seattle.
They've been making some really nice passes out there. Excellent passing. That could set the tone for the rest of the game.
Yeah, they're showing some muscle also in the first half as well, and getting a lot of their points in the paint. Really like the balance they've shown.
Well, Clark, you look at LeBron's career averages right now around 27, 7 and 7. Hard to argue at this time he's not the best player in the league.
Well, you know, he might not always win the MVP award, Kevin, but that doesn't really matter. I think he's the most feared player in the league, and he proved he can carry a team in last season's NBA Finals. Clearly one of the all-time greats.
The Rockets shooting their third and fourth free throw attempts of the game.
Yeah, looking over their percentage on the season, I think they will be thrilled with the number in terms of their free throw percentage, 79.
And, guys, that's a pretty good improvement over last season.
And it's tied up with that one. Well, looking back on last season, you didn't know where the Rockets would end up in terms of seeding in the playoffs. Ended up with the 2 seed because they won the Southwest Division. And as it turned out, everything worked out very well for them.
It really did, and had a divisional matchup in that first round against the Mavs. But the Rockets took care of business in that series and would advance. I mean, that's a tough break for the D. I mean, he took the hit and drew the whistle.
Yeah, but he was late to get there, Greg, so the referee couldn't give him a free pass on that one.
For Seattle, they have gone 1 for 2 on the night so far from the line. And that one falls for Bellinelli. Both free throws good from Bellinelli.
He's a dead eye at the line, fellas. Just call him automatic. He doesn't miss many of those.
Loss in the corner. And stolen by James. There's the lob to the hoop. Oh, a nice defensive play to disrupt the alley-oop. An intentional foul committed, but for what purpose, Greg? I'm not sure.
A scene of confusion right there. I can't imagine why he thought it was a good idea to foul there.
First one falls for him.
Che cazzata che ho fatto.
And both free throws good for Brooks. It's all tied in Seattle. And we'll be back in just a moment with the start of the second quarter. And, of course, as we've always seen with LeBron James, it's not just about the numbers, but his tremendous, tremendous leadership.
Putting all the pressure on me to be better and come through for my teammates. This is the.
Well, that there is straight talk from a man who does not pretend. LeBron James is a textbook example of how to take responsibility and lead.
And, Kevin, that's why he is the king. He doesn't say, hey, I'm just one of the 5 guys. No, he knows who he is and what he has to do.
Allora, vediamo un po'.
And I'm going to take you to the promised land.
Welcome back, folks. We have a close game here at the start of the second quarter of play. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Seattle. Guys?
Just almost an intimidating factor when you're able to go out and consistently come up with the block shots like they have defensively.
Well, what happens is shooters begin to start looking for the shot blockers, and it does intimidate them.
And Seattle shooting a smooth 58% from the field. Everything going according to plan for them on that. And so in the game for the Rockets.
Yes.
Out there with Haslam. Then it's Terrence Ross. Then it's Brooks. And it's Stoudemire in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Here's Brooks. Seattle able to drain the 3. From the high post,
Ma dai, difendi
Brooks has
meglio.
got 10. And it's Seattle with the ball. They host the 76ers after this game. And that'll be the third of the four straight at home. Here's Gibson. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt. Rockets trail by 3. Brooks outside. Stoudemire with a screen on Chalmers. Brooks dishes to Stoudemire. Shot clock at 6. And oh, here we go. Chalmers has got it. The fast break chance. And it's Gibson finishing it
Yes.
off.
That's why
Loop.
they're on the lead. Aggressive play at both ends. Very nicely done there.
Absolutely. They make the steal, pay dividends instantly on the fast break.
And for LaMarcus Aldridge, always praised for his terrific shooting. His rebounding, as we know, Greg, has always been fantastic. Look at the past 2 seasons.
Bravissimo Gibson.
And that's why so many teams wanted him.
No, Gigione da Toma.
His ability to put points on the board as well as clean the boards. What a deadly combination.
For the Rockets, Kenneth Faried, he's checked in for Haslem. Hayward comes in for Terrence Ross. And it's Foy in for Brooks. Just about a minute and a half has gone by here in the second.
You know, on the topic of Aldridge's rebounding, I mean, he doesn't do it by banging people around. He does it with positioning, timing, and length. And you can say that about most of his game. Quietly, effective, and impactful.
Stolen by Vujacic. And Gibson, here we go. He feeds it to Datome. Outside Aldridge. Some nice ball movement here by Seattle. And he gets it to go. And now an 8-point Seattle lead.
Hey guys, going back to Aldridge, last season was a difficult one for him. He had the torn ligament in his left thumb, but still fought through it to become the Blazers' all-time leader in rebound.
And Antetokounmpo gets it to go.
Yeah, that's asking a lot from that defender.
Yeah, it certainly is. I mean, he just doesn't have the size to really be effective in that kind of matchup.
Here's Datome. And there's the foul. Goes on Taj Gibson. That's his first foul.
Another pass put right into the shooter's pocket, right in the shooting pocket for a terrific assist. They've done a lot of that today.
And it's something we haven't seen much of at the opposite end.
Difesa, difesa, difesa.
Second quarter play with almost 3 minutes gone. And Foy kicks to Faried.
No.
Can't get it to go.
Whoa.
And goes the other way with it. To the paint. It's
No.
Oh, and a fast break for the Rockets. Antetokounmpo running, and the jam by Stoudemire.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket, and don't let them set up the defense.
Seattle calls timeout.
You know, I think he just wants to tinker with the game plan a little bit, and I think that's a wise timeout.
And part of it, too, Greg, was he saw some things going on out there that he didn't care for.
Big group substitution here for Seattle. Andrew Bogut, he's checked in for Aldridge. Molinari comes in for Luigi Datome. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Sasha Vujacic. And it's Rose in for Mario Chalmers. And it's Gibson, that time on the assist from Gallinari. Gibson's got the lead up to 8 now for Seattle. Houston's gone 3 of 3 from three-point land here tonight. And now the first timeout called here for the Rockets.
Really was a slow start for Gallinari last season. It took him a while to get back to speed after missing all of the 2013-14 season with that torn ACL.
Gallinari did get better and better over time, and he proved he started to get back to his former self near the end of the season.
Yeah, had that huge 47-point explosion towards the end of last season. And listen, he's still a young guy and hopefully can continue to build after his injury woes.
And Seattle making a change here. James is checked in.
Ah no, ma che cazzata ho fatto?
It was last touched by Rose. Quick hands and the ability to anticipate the opening to create a turnover, so valuable, especially for a guard. As we see two tremendous talents with their ability to steal that ball away.
You know, and John Stockton, the only player to have cracked the 3,000 barrier in terms of career steals. You ask the fans about Stockton, and it's his passing they'll remember. But if you ask the players he's played up against, they'll tell you it's his defense that was just as sharp.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Stolen by Fareed. Antetokounmpo passes to Foy. He dishes it to Hayward. He's looking for Stoudemire and finds him. Shot from the low block. And he makes it look easy, dunking it hard with one hand.
And he's just going all out to get the second chance points. Just a terrific finish.
There was no one that was going to prevent him, GA, from converting that one.
Well, clearly this is the kind of game that could come down to 1 or 2 plays, and he wants to be the guy to make those plays.
And that's playing into the hands of the defense right there.
No way you can sneak that shot by him, Greg. I mean, he was all on top of that one.
Now, here's Antetokounmpo. He's averaging about 5 points a game.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
Outside, Bellinelli. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 5th assist in
Vai Marco, vai.
Israel by 4. And Foy kicks to Stoudemire. It's stolen by Bogut. And pushing it up in Seattle. And the basket by Rose.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end. That's losing basketball.
Especially when you can't afford to give up any buckets. That's a nice lead now. No clue where that pass was going. That is a brutal turnover.
So for the Rockets, Cody Zeller comes in for Amari Stoudemire. And Brooks subbed in for Antetokounmpo. .54 seconds left to play in the first half. There's the feed to Bogut. And he uses both hands to jam it in.
That's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And so here is Houston after the basket by Seattle.
Usually if he gets to the rim, he's converting it into points. But the defense stood tall there.
On the wing, James. He's covered by Zeller. And the bucket counts. And he's on his way to the free throw line. Try to make it a 3-point play.
Grandissimo LeBron.
To put this game out of reach.
For Seattle, they have been successful on 3 of their 4 free throw attempts up to this point.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
And guys, you know what? That's made things hard for them in a lot of their games. I mean, that inability to convert their chances at the free throw line.
Outside Rose. James sets the screen for Rose. And the release was before the buzzer, but it's off target.
Vabbè, più 8 al riposo.
We're heading to halftime. Seattle ahead, up 8. We'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Well, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. Welcome back. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kenny the Jet Smith as we start breaking it down for you. Just about time for the third quarter to get underway, and we'll see you again at the horn.
The second half beginning in just a moment. Aaron Brooks with a strong contribution so far in this one.
And the approach in that first half was an aggressive one. Take it to the teeth of the defense, put them on the heels, and you're either going to score or get to the line.
And mostly he's been getting to the line, guys. I mean, he has the free throw total to show for it, as well as the bumps and bruises.
Seattle leading by 8. Our second half of basketball, and presented by Gatorade. Let's see who's all fueled up and on the floor to start the third. On the court for Seattle, Rose is out there with Bellinelli. Then it's Bogut. Then there's Gallinari. And it's LeBron in at the foursome. Here's Brooks. Following the basket by LeBron James. Screen by Fareed. Hayward near the three-point line. It's Foy. Rebounded by Bogut.
Boy, and for Randy Foy, I thought it was a big bounce-back year for him last season. His points per game were the highest they've been in 5 years, and his field goal percentage was the highest it's been in 5 years as well.
Talking about Randy Foy last year, one difference is that he started almost every game, 78 the most in his career. That may have given him, Greg, additional confidence. Who knows?
Well, where I was impressed with his improvement was as a facilitator and rebounder. He seemed to lose his mojo for a few years in there, but last season, I really feel like he got it back.
It's stolen by Foy. And oh, here we go. Foy's got it, the fast break chance. And that one's good. Brooks.
Wow, the floor just really opened up for him on that possession.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for good offense, but that was just a terrible reaction from the defense.
And Bogut slams it in.
Boy, he threw out some punishment with that two-hand throwdown.
And Clark, now's the time to do it. Continue to attack that rim.
Brooks kicks to Fareed. Rose with the block. And he lobs it up toward the rim. Up high to stop the alley-oop.
The lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
No, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
And you know, guys, right now, they're starting to flatline, just hanging on here for dear life.
Derrick Rose has certainly piled up the awards for such a young player, starting with Rookie of the Year, the 111 first-place votes to only 5 for the runner-up. We know about his MVP, and that just shines out so brightly for him.
And how about he and Michael Jordan, the only MVPs in Chicago Bulls history?
Now a timeout called by Houston.
You know, looking back to Rose's MVP award, his stats were on another planet that year. He was only the third player to record 2,000 points and 600 assists in a single season since 1973. The other two, LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Big group substitution here for Seattle. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Bogut. Luigi De Tome comes in for Gallinari. Kirk Heinrich, he's checked in for Marco Bellinelli. And it's Chalmers in for Rose. Now here's Brooks. He's got 14. It's out of bounds to the Rockets as Houston retains possession. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. Hayward goes in and stolen by LeBron. Gets in, and he's a very efficient 5 for 6 on the game.
You know, in talking about D-Rose, I don't think the individual awards mean much to him. He's about trying to help his team win championships. And that's the kind of mindset he has to continue to display.
Here is Hayward following the basket by LeBron James. Can't hit the free throw line jumper.
High quality shot, just a little off there with the release.
And Greg, that has him shaking his head. Tough miss that time.
Here's Brooks after the basket by Seattle. Nice shot by Four.
Figa, non ci ho capito una fava qua.
Looks like that
Bravo.
from the three-point line. No one near him. That's a warm-up jumper for him.
Seattle leading by 13. Over to the wing. Here's Datome. Shot is good off the back rim and in. Datome's got 9 points.
What a great start to the second half. They still haven't missed a field goal.
Brooks kicks to Stoudemire. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there. Amari Stoudemire, with the change of scenery last season, was Bought out by the Knicks, signed with the Mavs midway through the season.
That was the best thing to happen to Stoudemire, in my opinion, Kevin. He got to play playoff basketball again, and we know that wasn't going to happen in New York.
That free throw, no good.
And for Stoudemire last year, served as a backup big for the Mavs and was still as efficient as ever.
Houston making a switch. Antetokounmpo's checked in, so he comes up empty at the line.
I don't think Stoudemire will ever be what he once was, but he was a valuable big to bring off the bench for a contending team in limited minutes.
And from an offensive standpoint, they have just been stellar.
Yeah, really good. I mean, extremely well coached, fluid, efficient. Man, it's been a lot of fun to watch. The points just keep piling up because they've been such a well-oiled machine.
And so here is Houston after the basket by Seattle. No coverage that time. Stoudemire's got 6.
I mean, even he was surprised to be that open.
In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. It's tipped and stolen by Hayward. 3-on-3. Here's Fareed. The basket good off the assist from Hayward. Hayward's got 3 assists in the game. To the wing right side. Aldridge kicks to Tome. Hands it from downtown. He's got 12.
And don't be surprised if we see a lot more of that to come. I mean, when he gets going like this, it is not easy to slow him down.
Now here's Brooks. He's got 14. Fareed, a screen on Heinrich. Stoudemire left side. He kicks it to Antetokounmpo, and it's Houston with another.
He's doing his best to carry him, fellas, but he can only do so much. Things would be different for them if he was getting a little more help.
Passes to Tome. They set the pick, and Heinrich has it in the corner. Inside, stolen by Fareed. Pass to Brooks. Stoudemire, the screen. Antetokounmpo against Aldridge. Lock at 6. And it's Antetokounmpo penetrating. Shoots from the high post.
That's something they need to do more of. Get after it on the glass. Go get those.
Figa.
Clark, it wouldn't hurt. Some extra possessions would definitely help narrow the gap and maybe swing the momentum.
So for the Rockets, Cody Zeller's checked in for Stoudemire. Haslam comes in for Fareed, and Terrence Ross is subbed in for Gordon Hayward.
Rockets substitution: Cody Zeller, Udonis Haslam, Terrence Ross.
Aldridge down low. He's covered by Zeller, and Aldridge the basket on the assist from Tome.
I'm sorry, that's poor defense down low again. It's been a mismatch thus far in the paint.
I'd agree with you, and I don't think they expected this one to be a game where they would get battered inside like they had.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see. And Terrence Ross showed fantastic development in his second season, but really took a step back last year. All of his shooting percentages were down. He exuded confidence, but still at times just could not buy a basket.
Seattle calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Catching up on the changes for Seattle. Taj Gibson's checked in for James. Molinari comes in for Luigi Tome. Ellenelli, he's checked in for Kirk Heinrich. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Mario Chalmers. Here's Brooks. He's got 14. From 17 feet out, and the shot is good. Brooks has got 16 points.
Oh, animo ragazzi,
6 seconds left in the third quarter of the game. Here's Aldridge. It's good. This time the assist from Rose. Rose has got his 7th assist here tonight.
That one was solid. There's a big difference in the field goal percentages between these two teams here in the second half.
And Greg, that difference has come about because we've got one team moving crisply, getting good shots, and the others.
And thanks again for joining us. Let's see what happens here in the fourth. Rockets trail by 17, and so in the game for the Rockets. Haslam's out there with Cody Zeller. Then it's Brooks. Then there's Foy, and it's Ross in at the 3 slot.
And those are two teammates right there working in rhythm. One setting the screen and the other using it to get that separation.
Gallinari against Ross. Gibson with the screen on Brooks. In the corner, it's Bellinelli. Gets the three-pointer to fall. And Seattle leads by 18.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
He got right to the cup using that screen.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
Rose kicks to Gallinari. And again, Seattle with the triple.
Defensively, they just look out of sync, not closing out on the threes in time.
Well, I think they're getting caught in that in-between zone, no man's land, giving up 3 straight from beyond the arc right now.
Pick by Zeller. Brooks with him. And Rose picks him up defensively. Offensive rebound. Was on the wing. Misses, and he wants that one back.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Here's Aldridge. Trying to get open is Gibson. And that one's good by Aldridge.
A great move to get to the rack there against the guy who doesn't really just have the strength to be able to keep him away from the rim.
A nice shot by Zeller.
That is some real serious dime dropping there. Exquisite assist.
Rose kicks to Gallinari. Gibson in the post. Haslam on him. Out of bounds. Houston takes possession.
And really just a lack of awareness on his part. Just no idea he was right near the line.
Catching up on the changes for Houston. Amari Stoudemire. He's checked in for Cody Zeller. Fareed comes in for Udonis Haslam. And Gordon Haywards is subbed in for Terrence Ross.
Well, there were a few complaints last season about how the playoff seeding was done, most notably in the Western Conference. Portland is the 4th seed for winning their division, but without that division win, would have been the 6th seed.
Andrew Bogut checked in for Seattle. On defense, Seattle. The drive by Brooks, and he gets it to go. Brooks has got 4 points this quarter. Into the playoffs last year with Portland being a division winner, but getting that 4th seed, that played a huge role in this conversation about playoff seeding structure. San Antonio would end up playing the Clippers in the first round, even though both had better records than the Blazers.
Kevin, no doubt it's a tricky situation. Listen, you want to reward teams for winning their division, but every so often it comes at the expense of several other teams, like it did last year, who just play in stronger divisions. So I think that's something that the league is going to have to look at moving forward.
And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. Stoudemire with the bucket.
And when the size advantage is as big as it was there, I mean, that's exactly what he's supposed to do in that situation.
Here's Bellinelli. Dish now to Bogut. And it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Oh, man, how about the last-minute decision there to pull the shot down and get a better one for your teammate?
Cosa ha fatto Marcone Bellinelli, ragazzi?
The drive by Brooks. Soft touch off the glass. Brooks has got 22 points.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches who used to say, that ain't gonna get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Shot clock at 5. Rose dishes to Gibson. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Yeah, just just nice strength there and then just off with the shot.
Boy, with all the contact he drew there, Greg, that would have been a heck of a bucket. He nearly got it to go.
And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for Seattle.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving no room to get off any shots.
But also, they put the offense on its heel. Look at the number of steals they've been able to get. And that's something they also can take great pride in.
And the foul on Amari Stoudemire. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And really, these are some of the toughest calls an official has to make.
Yeah, but in this case, I think he got it right. I mean, the defender was still moving there and never really had good legal guarding position. He wasn't set.
Kicks to Gibson. Dishes to Bellinelli. From downtown, and he gets it to go.
Che tiro fatto.
And Seattle leads by 20.
And you know what? He's got a new BFF. It's the triple.
And it has been his BFF today anyway. Most of his points have been courtesy of the deep ball.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
And lots of contact there. Missing the shot. He'll shoot two. It's going to go on Gordon Hayward.
Talk about a terrific game for Gallinari. 12 points, and he's knocked down a pair of three-pointers in this game, too.
And maybe it's time for them to set a few more screens for him up top and let him add to that total.
That one is no good.
Vabbè, affanculo.
By 18. Rose with the block. Left side, Gibson. And he elevates for the slam dunk. Kenneth Faried did not like that happening.
Man, he slams it home and gets a little camera time on the backside of it.
He spent a while up there on the rim.
And I like the fact that the ref's going to give him a little bit of leeway there and a lot more than they used to.
And that was Kia bringing you the close-up on the big-time play. Houston with a big group substitution here. Udonis Haslem, he's checked in for Stoudemire. Antetokounmpo comes in for Gordon Hayward. Ross, he's checked in for Randy Foy. And Shabazz Napier subbed in for Aaron Brooks. James checked in for Taj Gibson. Here's Haslem. Wants to get it to Faried and does.
And guys, what we saw here tonight is one side having everything going for them. Huge margin of victory for Seattle.
Great, generous ball movement tonight. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, a remarkable team effort, Kevin. Everybody got involved, and that paid dividends.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
Really, they had their number this season. 2 wins, a home win, and an away win.
Yeah, you know, I thought
Che parla del piccio che ho perso.
I was mistaken. Now they'll have to
Vai
wait till
Derrick,
next year
guarda Marco.
And a great
Bomba.
team effort, but
Yes.
What an individual performance for Rose. He just looked like an orchestrator out there. His teammates kept running to the open spot, and he found them.
And the slam dunk by Antetokounmpo.
They clearly look like a different team now. Suddenly, they've got some energy out on the floor.
Yeah, but it's come a little too late to have a real impact on the game, though. We call this box score window dressing. All it's going to do is make the numbers look a little better than it was.
There's 38 seconds left in the fourth
La
quarter.
miseria.
And that's the classic 1-2 punch right there. I mean, nice steal. And then how about the elevation, Kevin, on the finish?
And Greg, nothing spurs some quick offense like a great play defensively.
That indicates the importance of great on-the-ball defense, as was displayed right there.
And here's Gallinari outside. Can't get it to go. Some solid defense from Antetokounmpo. And the rejection.
Che stoppata di LeBron.
Pulls up, high post, and there's Derrick Rose on the assist by Bogut. And Seattle leads by 17.
The fans are just loving what's going on here tonight. A really good win for the home team.
This sure is. I mean, they kept this crowd in the game, gave them plenty to cheer about and really use that home court advantage to their advantage.
E si ritorna a vincere dopo 2 sconfitte.
I don't think they have anything but positives to take away.
Thank you, Kevin. LeBron, what do you think about the trend right now for this basketball team in these last few games?
We got better today. That's the most important thing we got.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
And hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny the Jet Smith. Let us take a moment now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game.
I can't imagine a player having a better night from the field than he had tonight. His shooting percentage was off the chart. He used every trick in the book to get those high percentage shots. He shot from every direction, and there was a little bit of luck here and there, but he was on fire.
I mean, he was lights out from deep. Some aerial mastery going on, guys. He spent a lot more time behind the arc than he usually does. Good call by the coaching staff to use him in that way. The defense was not expecting it.
And folks, that's it for us. Thank you for tuning in.
MVP Marco Bellinelli. Andiamo a vedere il tabellino. Da Tome 7 minuti, signori, ha fatto 12 punti, un assist e una stoppata. Da Tome da tenere in considerazione, figa. Cazzo, Rose 10 assist, grande partita. Andiamo a vedere anche la classifica di conference e poi vi saluto. Sono le 2 di notte, o no? Sì, sono le 2 e vi do anche la buonanotte. Andiamo a vedere le classifiche di conference. Il nostro record è 11-7. Siamo comunque lì. Sì, sorprendenti Milwaukee Bucks primi, mentre Ovest, Phoenix, Oklahoma, Portland sono le prime 3 forze. Ciao a tutti ragazzi da Nuggets, alla prossima, peace.